Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike Hanselman, so I'll be the host today of the unboxing of our SIG. This is the P365X. So before I even open this, so you have the 365 and then the 365 XL. The XL has a slightly longer slide as well as a slightly longer frame, so it fits a little bit better in a big hand. The 365X has the same size slide as the 365, but has a larger frame. So in my opinion, it's a perfect firearm, just like this. Now this version is going to be the optic ready, and it does come with the SIG Sauer Romeo 0. So the unboxing of this, here we go. When we open up the case, you can see you're gonna have a spare magazine, and that's wrapped up. So we're gonna just take it out of that package real fast. Maybe real fast. This is stuck in here pretty good, so let me grab it. All right, so the magazine. One thing about SIG Sauer magazines is they're fairly costly, so not my favorite thing about a SIG Sauer over other platforms like Glock or something like that. But for what it is, this is a pretty cool firearm. So here's our magazine, and you can see it is constructed out of metal or steel. So we'll set that off to the side. I'm just gonna grab the firearm. We'll take this tag off of it, if I can do so. Let's see, I might have made it worse right there. I probably should just cut it because that would be a lot easier. All right, so it's a lot harder to take it off when I'm behind the camera, so I'm just gonna grab a knife. And this is a knife that someone actually made me out of an antler, so pretty cool. And we'll just cut that tag off. From the manufacturer, obviously it's going to be unloaded, but just to verify, I'm going to grab this out of the view and I'll just double check that it is unloaded. We'll have you guys look in here too, so no internet heroes try calling me out and saying it was a loaded firearm. Other components that we do have inside this case, you're going to see we do have a battery right here. I got to see if we actually need to install that battery or if there's already one inside the optic. You have your owner's manual, and you're gonna have a bunch of stickers and other crap in here of how to actually register that firearm so that you can, use your warranty if you need it. But let's look at the gun. Just right out of the box, what do I like about the firearm? Well, number one, it comes with an optic, and because of that, it's not gonna utilize a base plate. So if you were to look at the Glock MOS series, you don't need to use a base plate for this because it's coming with a SIG Sauer optic. Now, if you wanted to switch your optic and run something different, more than likely you're going to have to utilize a base plate because the footprint's not going to match up for your optic and where the screw holes are. But if you get this particular version, the optic's already on there for you and it's going to have a much lower fit. Now, if you look back here, one thing you might think is, well, that kind of sucks with the optic on there. You don't have a rear sight. And generally, you'd be correct. But for this particular optic, which you can see right here, it's actually cut out. So you can still co-witness by utilizing that notch as your rear sight. And then your front sight, which you can clearly see up front there, and it's green on this particular one. You did see that when I tipped this, you can see the red dot in there. So that part's pretty cool. So maybe they just gave us an extra battery, which is awesome from SIG to do. Not that they're expensive. I wish they gave us 3 magazines instead of 2 and they kept the extra battery, but awesome, I'll take an extra battery, why not? So the other features about this gun that I really do like, the stippling on the hand guards there, it's pretty nice. It's not too aggressive, but it's gonna give you a better feel. As far as the magazines go, these are gonna be a flush mount magazine. So when it goes inside here, you're not gonna build any additional size to it, and it just fits in your hand really nice. So pretty cool feature on that. As far as your selectors and stuff go, you're gonna have your takedown, your slide lock, slide release. And what they do on the side of this, instead of saying XL, because it's not, it is the X version, it will have the X right here, which you can see. So it's almost like their X series line that they have. The serrations in the slide are pretty nice. The rear one's definitely more aggressive than what the fronts are, but as far as a pressure check or anything, if you need to check your chamber, you could get a nice hold up there because of those and verify it's loaded or unloaded. As far as working your rear, I personally don't grab here because it has an optic. I think it's easier to use it more like a shelf, and you can get a little bit better of a hold right there. One thing that was kind of weird to me about the optic itself is how they like match the texturing up here with down here. You know, I think attention to detail is incredible for SIG. I think it's kind of pointless to put texturing up here on my optic. So I don't truly understand that, but if you know why they did that, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I would have preferred to have the components move slightly backwards, so they could have put some texturing up here for me. But since I'm not a SIG shooter, I am excited to get out there with this particular one. And now I do own SIGs, it's just not my favorite firearm. But mainly it's stupid reasons. The reasons that I don't love SIG is just because the cost of their magazines is, you know, double or triple what some other gun manufacturers are. So I would rather go with a different company and save some money on the magazines when I buy extras. One last thing that you can clearly see about this that I am a huge fan of is if you look at that trigger right there, this is, let me put my hand behind it so you can see it even better. That is a flat face trigger for sure. Now the angle of the trigger looks pretty interesting. So when I actually get out to the range and shoot it, I'll see how much I like it or dislike it. Just looking at it, it looks like if that trigger goes all the way to the rear, you need to move it pretty far. But having that flat face to it, I am definitely excited to get out and start pulling the trigger on this and ultimately just see how it breaks. So actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go load this up. I'm going to go out to the range and start shooting it after I read my owner's manual and see if there's anything I need to take into consideration before I start going live. So stay tuned. I'm going to post some more videos of me actually shooting in a bit. Take care, guys.